welcome back to my channel and to another little DIY vlog. I'm starting the vlog outside in the sunshine because this weather is glorious. Honestly, I know I talk about the weather all the time, but it really puts me in such a good mood when it's sunny. It just, I love it. That little breeze, it's gorgeous. Also, you might notice we've got a little lab behind us. So we've got Ivy staying with us for nearly 3 weeks actually. My parents are going away on holiday and they're taking my little niece as well, so we're on dog looking after duty, which is very good because it keeps Maggie company. And they are as thick as thieves. We had them in Greenwich Park this morning having a little walk with each other and they loved it. They're just soaking in the sun. Aren't you, Ivy? It's been a while since you've been on the channel, Ivy. Hello. They are so lovely. Best of friends. Hello. So yeah, I'm just outside having a little morning coffee and today's task is, well, it's something new. It's something I've never done before and well, it's either going to go really well or there's going to be a lot of learning. So let me take you into the living room and show you what we're doing. So a while back I did a living room plan video and one of the things we said we were going to do was box up this door. Now, it divided opinion. Basically, originally the walkway here probably wouldn't have been here, or there would have been doors. However, sorry, do excuse the box, that was just from our barbecue delivery. So yeah, the door here, there are 2 doors, so the whole, that's probably best if I just come through the hallway and show you. I know I've already done a tour before, but so obviously you come through the front door, you've got door 1, and then you have door 2, which doesn't really make sense because naturally we walk through this door and into the living room and it just seems a bit pointless. And to be fair, we don't really use it. We keep it closed primarily just to keep the heat in. And when we had the big tall unit here, when we were waiting for it to be collected from someone off Facebook Marketplace, we didn't even go to open the door. It's just not really useful, and I think if we end up boxing it up, it will mean that all of this space is so much more usable. Like, we've got some wood there to finish off the bookcases after the electrician comes, so we can kind of bring the sofas over slightly more. It just makes this space feel more substantial and usable. You know, I just feel like the door just doesn't really add anything. So we could just leave it there, but I feel like it just looks a bit misplaced. So the door is gone. So today I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be taking the door off the hinges. I'm going to be removing the architrave and then filling it in with a stud wall. So I'm going to be getting some wood, some plasterboard. I've never done this before in my life. I have watched some videos online and tips from my stepdad. It looks doable within my skill set, and I have the tools now. And anytime I get stuck, I can just give my stepdad a quick call. I'm sure he'll be able to assist in some form. I think it will make the space feel so much more, just more. And obviously when we get the electrician in, then it'll just be a case of just putting some colour on the walls, and then the living room pretty much is done. And shutters, we really do need to get some shutters because now that the lighter days are here as well, and obviously it doesn't get dark till much later in the evening, it's just that little bit more privacy. Rather than having to have the curtains fully closed, we can just have the shutters closed but still let that evening light in, which is very lovely. So yeah, that's where we're at, Ivy. That's the job today. Do you think I can do it? I think that waggy tail says I can. Yeah, we're gonna give the electrician a call and hopefully get him in the next couple of weeks or so, just because we're so ready to just get this living room somewhat finished, and it's just the finishing touches that will really make the space amazing. So yeah, I did prime this bookcase. I don't know if I showed that in a vlog, but yeah, this bookcase is now primed, so all 3 are painted. Just this last one we're not doing because obviously the electrician will need to pull out the bookcase to access the cabling because this is 2 bookcases together. So yeah, I've got the priming kit down there, literally just and a carrot. I think we will just use this space so much more, especially in the like the cooler months. I think in summer months we're obviously going to be outside so much, but in the winter time I think this living room lounge library will really come into its own. So I think first things first, I need to remove the door from the hinges and do some measuring. So I'm going to go get my drill and then get cracking. Right, here we are. I'm fully aware there's going to be some people watching this being like, don't do it, don't do it.
I just want to say, why do I feel like all your comments are going to be like, can't believe you blocked up the door.
But it's okay because, look.
It's a door.
It's a doorway and it's a temporary fix. If we end up thinking, what did we do? You can just reinstate it.
But also, it's how we use our home, and we don't use this door.
Yeah, I feel like even if you were a family as well, naturally, when you come in through the door, the first thing we do is go straight into the kitchen. We don't come straight into the living room, ever.
I think because it's such a generously sized kitchen that it doubles up as like a kitchen living. Like we spend all of our time in there.
In there, exactly. And naturally as well, like people say about blocking off hallways and only having one access into a room, I don't like that.
No.
I think 2 access ways through a kitchen and dining is just nicer.
This works as well, sorry to take over, but the fact that when you come down the stairs, it makes sense that you'd
naturally just comes
because else you come down the stairs and you go past the first entrance
into the second.
It just doesn't make it. Yeah, I know it's quite traditional of these houses, but it doesn't work for us.
But now we are altering the floor plan. Isn't that weird?
I think.
Something tells me this is like your normal proceedings.
Look how excited she is. Power tool queen.
Ivy is definitely used to being surrounded by my stepdad, who is always using power tools. Well,
Meanwhile,
this is quite satisfying.
I don't know if you can see another one over here. Oh, wait, you see, then you've got the scared, nervous Nelly at the door.
Right, guys, here we are. So we're actually going to reuse this door. So Zara had such a good shout this morning. We're going to rehang the way Zara's door opens, because when Zara's aunt and uncle came round, honestly, Zara's auntie has like just knowledge, but I don't even know how she has this knowledge. But basically,
I wish I could hold that much in my head, but
me too. So naturally, when in Victorian properties, and obviously previous to Victorian eras, Edwardian, etc., houses would have had maids and servants, and naturally, when you would open a door, the maids and servants would open the door with their face towards the wall for privacy, and obviously declare their presence and say da 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 da, and then you'd walk in. So naturally, that's why doors open facing wallways. So obviously
because I've found it strange that my bedroom door opens to a wall and not into the room, and
it's obviously to announce your presence for privacy. But if we were to have this door here, it would obviously open this way into the room, whereas they open, anyway. So yeah, the door's not going to waste. We will just be popping it somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it looks so open. Why does it feel instantly cold?
It does, doesn't it?
I think that's the other thing though, like our front door needs replacing.
It does. It's, I think, at least 10-year-old, which obviously for a door is fine, but it's PVC, that's it. So it's I think it's like obviously shifted, and when I locked myself out, the locksmith had to really give it some welly to get into it. So
it's a sturdy door, it's just cold.
It's just not great. Anyway, I know a lot of people do glass panels as well, but again, I don't think we need to. I think we can say goodbye to the door frame. Okay, so I've just got a Stanley chisel out, so I'm going to use the flathead and a hammer, and then we're just going to remove the architrave without hopefully damaging the wall too much. Some replastering will need doing, and I'm obviously going to go and get some trade supplies, but here we go. One piece down. I don't know why, but I feel really bad doing this. I feel like because this would have been an original door, this is the only thing in our home that we plan on changing that was original, and I think this small change will make a big difference. But it's just even little things like the screws and the nails they used to use. Look at these little flathead nails. They just don't, I mean, yeah, they just don't make things like that anymore. Anyway, we're 3 down, so the internal piece of the architrave is all done. So I just need to do the external piece and then the door frame, and then go and buy some supplies. And I'm making do with a COVID mask and my glasses just for the moment until I go and get a proper mask and goggles. Okay, so update. All of the architrave is fully off, and I've trimmed the plaster back, but I haven't trimmed, I've chiseled the plaster back to a nice smooth line. I just need to do this little top bit, but that's fine for now. So I've just measured, I've got my little notepad here, and I brought a list of things that I need, but then essentially I've measured 3 different points in the doorway, and then the heights as well, because obviously this is a Victorian home and things might not be perfect. So I rang my stepdad, and basically we're going to use this existing wood frame because I just feel like it's silly to rip this out. The only thing is there's a slight lip, so I'm going to have to work around that, but I think it should be fine. So I've just swept up all this. I need to go and get some rubble bags. So it's off to my second home. Wicks I go. Okay, I'm back from the supply store, and I've got the plasterboard here. Of course, I didn't have a piece that was going to be tall enough. I'm kind of glad because this was about as big as I could fit in my car. So I've had to get 2 pieces and then an additional piece to cut for the top And then I've got some bits of wood here, so we need 2 different types of wood. So I've just hoovered all this up, kind of like made it as manageable as possible, and we've now got a really, really clean edge all the way along on both sides. So now it's just a case of building the frame inside. I'm so annoyed this one bit came off, but I'm sure a plasterer can work their magic on that. But yeah, it is officially coming together. As always with these DIYs, it's 5 to 3 and I haven't had lunch yet. And I was just in Wickes, very, very hungry, so I'm gonna have a little bit of lunch. I'm not sure if we've got anything in, to be honest, but I'm sure I can rustle something together. Okay, so I hope this is interesting for you. If anyone is out there wanting to brick up a door, then, well, I'm not bricking it up anyway. So I've built a wooden frame. I've got all my tools out. I just wanted to crack on. I was gonna set up a tripod, but realistically, you don't need to see me cutting wood. But I built a frame, and what I'm gonna do is drill this wood into the existing wood frame lintel. I did this just because it seems silly to remove wood to then add wood. And obviously look at these joins here. I think you'd call, I've completely forgot from my woodwork days at school what this is called. I think it's a tenant joint. I could be wrong. It's not a dovetail joint. Okay, someone let me know in the comments if you know your joints. But yeah, I'm gonna lower this in and then drill it into the wall. Okay, so now that the frame is fully secured in place, I'm adding the support beams in the middle. So this is just 2B1 wood, and I'm just gonna use some fairly long screws and drill in either side at the bottom and the top of the frame that I've added in. I'm gonna do 3 just to add support on this side and then do the same on the other. And then yeah, plasterboard can go on. I don't think I'm gonna get both sides done today because I really want to be considerate of the neighbours, so I've got about an hour before I need to stop working. So yeah, I think I'll get one side done for sure, but so far so good. Okay, so we are done for day 1. I know some people might be watching this and thinking you only did that in a day. But I've just moved everything back just so you can get an idea. And of course Maggie is snuggled on the sofa. But yeah, with having that space on this side, there's so much more room. Obviously the radiator will be gone and these blankets will be getting folded up and popped in these cupboards. So it's all kind of like a work in progress, but I think that just looks really much better. And obviously the door was closed, but once that is plastered over, you wouldn't have even known it was originally there, and I think it just works really well. And obviously through here as well, this is the original door, so this is the back of it. So this is tomorrow's task, that I need to essentially do the same on the other side to box it in. But yeah, really pleased with how this is looking. I think once we do the hallway, I think a really big mirror here, really oversized, to bounce the light through would be lovely. And obviously the doors that we're going to replace into the kitchen and this library room will be glassed, allow light to come through as well. Zara has cooked dinner this evening. She has saved the day. We've got chicken fajitas with lots of peppers, got rice, spicy chips, we've got some mashed avocado, jalapenos, and some grated cheddar and tortilla wraps. This looks wonderful. Good morning. So it is the next day and I've woken up with a little bit of a cold. I knew this was going to happen. I'm just so grateful that I didn't get it over when I was running the marathon, because that was a worry. Zara got really sick and I was like, please can I not get it? And I haven't got it until now, so that's fine. So I'm going to take today a little bit easy. I've still got to crack on with filling the other side of the door, but we're going to be grateful that I did the bulk of the work yesterday. Anyway, I thought I'd show you a couple of new bits that have come in this week before we get cracking. So we went to Harrogate last weekend for a friend's wedding, and I love Harrogate. It's so beautiful. It's in Yorkshire, and if you've never been, I thoroughly recommend a visit because it's like a small Bath or York, and it's just so stunning. The people are really friendly. It is slightly pricey, but they've got some really great shops and restaurants there. And we popped into Oliver Bonus. We also went into the Cotswold Company as well. But I thought I'd just show you this. So this was in the sale at Oliver Bonus. Was it, how much do you remember how much this was? £10. £10. This was £10. It's a ceramic treat jar. So obviously we've got Maggie and Ivy here. And it actually matches the colours of what Zara painted. Well, it doesn't match it exactly, but Zara painted Maggie's bowl. So it's got like a lid with a steel jar in it, so it keeps the treats nice and fresh. Love Oliver Bonus stuff, it's really nice. So we picked that up. And then yesterday I had this box arrive from Waitrose. Now, if you know a cook called Ottolenghi, he is a cookbook writer slash chef, and he's launched a collection with Waitrose. So they very kindly sent over some of the products from the launch now. I was supposed to be there, but it was the 2 days after the marathon and I was so sore. I couldn't make it into town. I could barely walk. So they very kindly sent me over some products to try from the range. Now I know you guys are into your cooking, and if you are near a Waitrose, you can get these online. Let me show you them because it looks lovely. So we've got some lovely things here. We've got Aleppo and other chilies. I love Aleppo chilies. I think they have such a nice flavour. We also have a sweet and smoky spice blend. Ottolenghi's flavours are really like Iranian inspired, Middle Eastern. We've got green harissa, which I just absolutely love. I love harissa. Usually it's red and rose, but there we are. Got some miso pesto, which I'm not usually a huge fan of miso, but I love pesto, so I think that sounds really nice. Made with caramelized onions, pine kernels, and white miso. And I love that on the jars as well, you've got how to use, so fold through pasta and noodles or spoon over fish topped with flatbreads. Also got some citrus spice seasoning here as well. Some chili sauce, which I love, you know I love my chili. And then Waitrose have included some of their Waitrose #1 fusilli bucati, sorry, not bucatini. And we've got some Levantine flatbreads in the bottom as well. So I'm going to give these a try. Maybe not in this vlog, but I'll report back and let you know what I think. So I'm standing on the other side of the door and I'm making really good progress. I feel like because I did this yesterday, I kind of got to grips with how to do it. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I think I'm doing alright, touch wood. Pardon the pun. I'll link some video tutorials of videos I watched that helped me because YouTube, honestly, I owe my life to YouTube. I've said this before. It taught me how to reverse around the corner. It's taught me how to cook. I feel like between watching my stepdad last month and also just like generally watching some videos online, I'm feeling so much more confident. Okay, so I need to take another trip to Wickes and I've just wrote some, well basically these are the stickers of the pieces of wood that I need, so I need 3 of those. And then I've wrote down some measurements of some wood trim, because you might remember that we still need to add some trim to these doors. And I thought whilst I've got all of my toolkit out, I might as well just attach them. So I think we're going to do some kind of like panel design. It's quite hard to show you with one hand, but some kind of like panelled on a mitre cut. I think will look really, really lovely. So I've got a rough idea of what we need. We've just had a look on Pinterest. I'm gonna grab my notepad and my keys, go to the recycling centre and then go to Wickes. We officially have one boarded in door on both sides. It is all done. I'm so pleased. This actually took me a lot less time in comparison to this side. Obviously I think this was like the practice run, but yeah, it's worked out really well. I've just popped the bar cart and a little side table here just for now. But yeah, I think obviously once it's all plastered and we fully get it like, you know, smartened up with some paint, it'll be like it was never here. Now what I'm gonna do is take the doors off of these cupboards and I'm gonna pencil out what kind of pattern we want for the paneling on the doors, because I went and got the wood earlier, so we've got the strip wood. So I'm gonna ask Zara for her opinion and then yeah, we're gonna go for it. Okay, so I've just added the wood trim to the doors and I'm really happy with this. We were a bit unsure about the measurements because one of these doors is slightly larger than the other on both sides, just because we couldn't get the MDF cut directly perfect when we were making the cabinet. And I was going to add a second piece, but I think it doesn't need it. I think once that's primed, it's going to look really lovely. So yeah, that's the first door done. We just need to do it 3 more times. And it's so nice doing this with a professional miter saw. I feel like the cuts are just so perfect. And I'm using this grip fill. I got this in Screwfix. It's a couple of pounds, although it keeps on leaking out at the end. So I need to pop that in some kind of like cling film or something just to stop it drying out. But yeah, it's really good. Okay guys, I have powered on. I was gonna pause, but I just thought, you know what, let's just get these done. So I've just primed this side just to have a look and see what it would look like, and I'm so pleased. They don't look even, but that's because the shadow is casting a light on the right one. So I've just done those 2, and then I've done those 2 over here as well, so they're all nice and symmetrical now, and I'm just so pleased with how this is coming together. So I'm just going to use my decorating cork gun just to go around all of the cuts, give the doors a little light sand, and then yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day because it's been a very successful day. I'm so proud of how far I've come. I feel like I didn't really know how to do any of this a couple of months ago, and now I'm learning. There we are, guys. I've just did a little clean up in here and this is looking so lovely. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out, and I feel like just adding that little detail to the doors has just transformed it. And I thought I'd give you a little glimpse into the colour palette that we're working with. So we picked up these swatches at the weekend just of some fabric colours that we'd love to incorporate in the living room. And yeah, sticking with the railings, and obviously we've got the brass handles and the brass light switches. This is a swatch of our sofa, and then this is the fabric that we went for the curtains. So yeah, I think it's a really nice like muted palette, but with nice punchy textures and colours in there that'll just give it that nice luxurious feeling, but also quite cosy and warm. I'm gonna wrap this vlog up because, as always, whenever it gets towards the end of the day, I think exerting a lot of effort and also not feeling amazing, it's taking its toll. So I'm gonna love you guys and leave you guys, but I really hope you found this vlog useful if you're going to maybe consider boxing up a door yourself or tackling any DIY. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Lots of love to you all. Take care, and I'll catch you all very soon in a future video. Bye for now.